Hello everyone, minasan konnichiwa. My name is Martin and this is WabiMoji. And if you are for the first time here, maybe you want to check this introduction where I try to explain the whole idea behind the WabiMoji and my plans for the future with this channel. And in today's video, I want to explain about some very general rules that you can apply when you write hiragana. You can use them for all the tutorials that you can find in my collection here, where I explain how to write hiragana, the standard hiragana with a pencil or a pen. But they are very general rules, so you can apply them also for kanji or even if you write with a brush. Okay, so let's see rule number one. You have to keep the order, so you have to write in the same stroke order. Of course, you can write the way you want as well, but it's actually benefic for you. And there are two reasons here. One of them is that hiragana developed historically from kanji, so there is a process behind it. And the second is that actually, because of this process, hiragana the hiragana that we have today is the most effective. It will enhance your speed lately, and it will give you some flow. Historically, all hiragana developed from kanji, and the letter A developed from this kanji. Right, which is yasui. It means cheap, but also calm. And this one, if you try to write it cursively, at some point you probably write something like this. Right? And then you will have something like this, right? And which is very close to today's letter R. And this is how it developed, and that's why actually the order that we have now is probably the perfect one, the most efficient order that we have, and it's better if you keep it. The second rule, direction. So you have to write from the top to the bottom and from left to right. This is the general rule, and of course you might say, well, but I want to write the other way around. We can try, but you will see that in the end you will I mean, this is connected with the first rule, which enhances speed and flow. Direction, let's say we have the letter K, right? Letter K, as you can see, we start here at the top and we go down, so it's from top to bottom, right? And then when we start, the next one is not from this side, this way, is from this point, and we go up. And then the next one again is not from the bottom to the top, but it's always from the top to the bottom, something like this. So the third rule, well, balance. And so you have to have some balance, and this comes not only from proportion, which means you don't have to write the letter too big or maybe too small, but it's also how you balance it within the space. Is it on the right or maybe on the left? That's why we use a square, and inside that square we have a vertical and an horizontal line. Okay, and if you use math paper, then you have to have at least four little squares, or you can have maybe nine right inside, or even 16 if you want. You always have to think at the center, and that's why it's good to check the places where I start to write a line and when I finish it. Usually, even if you have some part of the letter on more on the left side, let's say, there is always another element on the right side that will make the letter, have a good balance. And when I say balance, you also have to think of the space you have around the letter. How much is it to the top or to the bottom or to the sides? Let's say, well, we have the letter E, mm, something like this. Right, let's say, and of course, is the dimension. If you need to have a nice space here inside, as I explained to you in the tutorials, but uh, so it's not too small but not too big, but it's also about these spaces that we have, so we need to have a little bit of space uh, here, right? We leave a little bit of space. What we have here, it's very close to what we have here, and all these all these spaces that we keep in mind actually gives us a balance, and we always center ourselves here, right? So as you can see, it's on both sides and it's also top to bottom, right? The fourth rule, you have to keep the contact with the paper. You have to have contact. And when I say contact, it means that the pencil shouldn't be kept in the air, but you have to touch with this part, right? The paper. This is the most stable position. It gives you also confidence. If sometimes you feel that the paper is too rough and you cannot smoothly move to the sides or up and down, then you can put another piece of paper between the main paper and this part of your hand. Well, here it's not a paper, it's a whiteboard, but you have to do not write like this. Usually you keep the this part of your hand, this finger on your paper and you write. If the paper is maybe too rough and you cannot move swiftly from one point to another, you just put another paper and do this kind of movement, and it it works easier, right? But usually is not the case. The fifth rule: write a little bit uh, firmly than softly. You don't have to be super stiff, but a little bit of pressure will actually give you a kind of a confident motion. Try to write firmly. Okay, so let's say we want to write the letter A. Well, you firmly find the place you want to start from and firmly go up the way, right? And if your pressure is not enough, you'll have something like this, very with a lot of small curves inside, and it's not nice. Go firmly with confidence, down, up, and up again, something like this. The sixth rule, this is actually connected with the previous one. If you write firmly, then you will not kind of run away from the paper. You have to stay with the movement from the beginning to the end. So do not rush, do not try to finish quickly. Remember that speed is not important at the beginning. Let's say we want to write no. Okay, so find a place here, go through the center and then go up and then go up and stay with this like for a long time until you finish, right? Something like this. Well, maybe this one is too big here, this space, but anyway, do not try to finish the letter as soon as possible. The seven rule. Try to write with the whole body, not just using the wrist. I know that, well, letters, when you write them with a pencil or a pen, they're small. So basically, you can do everything from the wrist. But sometimes if you want to write longer lines, it will your wrist will you will see that it has a limit. It cannot go farther than that, and that actually lowers your confidence and your control of the movement. That's why it's good to keep your center and try to move with all using all your body to the right, let's say, or even if it's from the top to the bottom, is the same kind of movement, is not just like this. Body movement. Move all your body. Do not try to do things like this with your wrist. For example, this one, well, it's is not maybe that long on when you write on the paper. But sometimes, if let's say you want to write a longer line, maybe like this one, the vertical line here, right? If you start like this and use only your wrist, okay, you'll feel here that there is a limit. You cannot go over it, so it will go like this, and it will be rather painful. Okay, instead of that, just use all your the wrist stays the same, and you use all your body like this. Okay, for horizontal lines, you find the place you want to start, and you don't do this kind of thing. Instead, you move all your body, right? Even though you are on the paper and it's not that much space you have to cover, the idea remains the same. This is especially useful when you write very long lines with the brush. But even on paper, let's say you have to write a line from this point to this point. If you use your wrist, it's impossible. But if you use all your body, it can go easily, right? The same with horizontal lines. Right? Okay, so the eighth rule, you probably seen already that most of the hiragana letters have kind of an upward tendency. So if you see my videos, try to keep that upward tendency. Do not write perfectly horizontal lines when is not the case. Most of the hiragana letters have a upwards tendency, like here this one, as you can see, it's up the way, right? The same is sa or ki if you want, right? So it's up the way, right? And then go down and then up the way again, right? And then you move like this, right? But right? So when you see something like this, try to keep this rule. Do not make it too flat. Many people try to write these lines that are oblique, almost horizontal. Rule number 9, some of the lines are connected imaginarily, so even if on paper they are not connected, you have to imagine that the first line actually connects to the next one. And that's important because it will create some kind of hooks, small hooks, which are called hane usually in Japanese. And even though some of them are optional because they are used more in semi-cursive writing, some of them are not. So you have to do them to write the standard hiragana. Most of the lines are connected. Let's take again the case of E, right? We go down, and from this point, we have to reach a point here to start in the next line. And of course, it doesn't touch the paper necessarily, right? So it goes up, but you have to imagine you want to reach this point, and that's why you will have here this thing, which is it's called usually hane, right? Like this, and then you move here like this. Here, because it's the end of it, if you want to write cursively, you can make another one like this a little bit. But if it's standard font, the standard hiragana, you don't need to write it. But this one is not optional, you have to do it. So please remember these hooks. And finally, the last rule, rule number 10. Besides these the hooks or hane, we have also some kind of, I think in English is a sweep or a sweeping, which is harai in Japanese, and some stop firm stops, which are tome in Japanese, and do not try to mix them up. So when it's a harai, try to slowly lift your pencil from the paper, and when it's a tome, you have to firmly stop. Do not mix them if it's not explained like that. Let's say we have the letter rho, which would be something like this, right? And then here, right here, we don't stop here like that. This is a kind of harai, so it you go you leave the paper. Well, slowly. You don't have to be again. Don't have to write it very fast, but softly. You have to lift the pencil. In the case of tome, let's take the case of letter he, right? So let's say we start here somewhere and we go up and then we go down again. Here is not a harai, so it's not like this. Okay, you have to stop. Okay, stop here. Okay, so it's a difference and you have to keep it in mind. Okay, that's it. These are very basic rules, but remember that if you keep with them, your writing in general, not only regarding hiragana, will improve over time. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned because many other videos are going to come very soon.